not the type of person that wishes ill on others. I don't get jealous of other people's success. There are a lot of channels here on YouTube that produce content similar to what we do here on the channel. I want all of them to succeed. Just because we are competing for views, competing for your attention, it doesn't mean that I want them to fail. There's over 330 million people in this country, over 7 billion in the world. The potential audience is endless. There's enough for everyone to be successful. Even someone like Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, there's no reason to begrudge their success. I might not agree with them politically. I might not agree with Stephen A. Smith selling out his integrity for money, but that's his own personal decision. He has to live with that. The NBA is another example. We talked about this the other day. I want the NBA to succeed. Most of the time when we're discussing the NBA, it's coming from a negative viewpoint. I was pleasantly surprised when their opening night ratings were as high as they've been since 2017. That's good for the league. But when it comes to the shit fucks, I take pleasure in their failure. I'm talking about the people who are actively trying to destroy the country. The WNBA, one of my favorite topics to cover on the channel, is the constant failure of the dump. The wicked wig of the woke, Joy Reid, her brother in bongo, Tiffany Cross, America's oldest virgin, Keith Olbermann, the Star Trek virgin, Mike Freeman. I like to see these shit fucks fail. The reason being, it gives me hope. When leaders at Woke United Methodist fail, it means America is rejecting their ideology. And while I'm thinking about it, I got to throw this out there. As you guys know, I can't mention the word failure without talking about the birthing person synonymous with failure, Bomani Jones. Don't worry, Bobo. You still hold the title of huge embarrassing failure. No one does failure like Bomani Jones. But we do have a birthing person trying to steal his crown. We have a birthing person working hard to represent failure. I'm sure she is honored to be mentioned on the channel for the first time. She finally achieved something worth getting me to talk about her. Judging by her book sales, I'll be the only one talking about her. Cori Bush is a congresswoman representing the St. Louis district in Missouri. Well, she's supposed to be representing the people of St. Louis. She actually represents her own personal interest. Her Twitter bio is filled with lies and propaganda. Leading with love, fighting for regular people. Yeah. The love she's talking about, normal people want nothing to do with. Keep that woke love to yourself. The people she's fighting for, they're not regular people. We classify them here on the channel as shit fucks. Cori Bush informs her followers that she prefers she/her pronouns. Now, this is one of the rare instances where I understand why she would announce her pronouns. I mean, she has a gender-neutral name and a 5 o'clock shadow. Just kidding. But all jokes aside, this woman is the definition of woke welfare. She ran for Congress twice, 2016, I think it was 2018, and was absolutely demolished in both elections. During the summer of 2020, she took advantage of mythical racism and was elected to the House of Representatives. What has she accomplished in 2 years? Now you gotta remember, Cori Bush claims to be fighting for regular people. Regular people like police protection. I am sure Cori Bush had them in mind when she fought to defund the police. Regular people like freedom. Cori Bush is a proud member of the Democratic Socialist of America. There is no such thing as democratic socialism. That's just a fancy word they use to cloak their true agenda. It's a nice way of them saying, we're going to take away all your freedom, but pretend we're not doing so. Kind of like the Chinese government calling it the People's Republic of China. Yeah. Maybe for the people in the family of Xi Jinping, the other billion or so people are living in poverty. Even though she's only been in Congress for 2 years, Cori Bush has already produced some classic hits. She was full of fake outrage when the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. She's a firm believer in abortion rights. Unless, of course, it's concerning her own pregnancy. Last year, she testified in front of Congress about the racist treatment she received from doctors every time she was forced to have a baby. Watch for yourself.
I found out again, I was in preterm labor. The doctor told me that the baby was going to abort. I said, no, you have to do something. But he was adamant and he said, just go home, let it abort. You can get pregnant again because that's what you people do. My sister Kelly was with me. We didn't know what to do after the doctor left. So we saw a chair sitting in the hallway. My sister picked up the chair and she threw it down the hallway. Nurses came running from everywhere to see what was wrong. A nurse called my doctor and she put me on a stretcher. The next morning, my doctor came in and placed a cerclage on my uterus, and I was able to carry my baby. My daughter, my angel, who is now 20 years old, my son, who was saved, is now 21 years old. This is what desperation looks like, that chair flying down a hallway. This is what being your own advocate looks like. Every day, Black women are subjected to harsh and racist treatment during pregnancy and childbirth. Every day, Black women die because the system denies our humanity. It denies us patient care. I sit before you today as a single mom, as a nurse, as an activist, and as a Congresswoman, and I am committed to doing the absolute most to protect Black mothers, to protect Black babies, to protect Black birthing people, and to save lives. Thank you, and I yield back.
This wasn't her only hit involving mythical racism. No. Cori Bush is a former pastor at Woke United Methodist and a proud member of Black Lives Matter. That means she's a professional at monetizing mythical racism. Check it out for yourself. This is one of my personal favorites. This song is titled "The Environment is Racist." It's a catchy little tune about a young Cori Bush having an asthma attack and blaming it on police brutality. I mean, I imagine it's tough running from the police when you suffer from asthma. Check out this next one. This song is titled "The 4th of July is a White Lie." It's a fictional story about white people stealing land from Black people, then celebrating by shooting fireworks. Last, but certainly not least, Fox News is racist. This classic hit needs no explanation. Shitfucks have been accusing Fox News of mythical racism for years now. If you're a Black man on Fox News, they call you an Uncle Tom. Now, all this information I've given you, it's just a little taste of what Cori Bush is like and what she represents. This woman changes jobs faster than Shay Shay scarfs down woke wieners at the hot dog eating contest. Pastor, preschool teacher, nurse, activist, woke welfare recipient in Congress. And now, Cori Bush can add author to her list of never-ending careers. For some reason, a major publishing company thought Americans were clamoring for the personal story of one of America's favorite shitfucks. The book is titled "The Forerunner, a story of pain and perseverance in America." This is an exciting fairy tale of how a young, confused Cori Bush came to the frightening realization that even though she had the name of a male, she was indeed a female birthing person. For weeks, Cori Bush was making the media rounds promoting her book. I read some of the reviews on Amazon. I mean, it didn't take me long, only about 2 minutes since there was only 7 of them. All 7 of these people are related to Cori Bush. They gave her a 5-star rating. Every review said this book was helpful in solving their problem of having an unbalanced living room table. They said this book was the perfect height and perfect depth to balance the table. Anyway, Cori Bush made the media rounds promoting her book. She stopped by the usual places of shitfuckery. The View, where the whoopee cushion heavily promoted the book by saying, "This book will knock you out." Audience members were begging for a demonstration. Unfortunately, the book didn't knock out the whoopee cushion. She's still full of gassy air. Cori Bush stopped by The Daily Show to exchange mouth farts with one of the latest embarrassing failures, Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah claimed this book is nuanced, intimate, painfully honest. She appeared on MSNBC with the wicked wig of the woke Joy Reid. She said, "Cori Bush is a fighter. She's strong. She's the only person who demonstrated the strength to remove my wig." The woke media went into overdrive promoting this book from their sister in woke. But what did America think? I guess Cori Bush is learning the hard way. Americans do not trust the mainstream media. If you're promoting a new project, the last thing you want is an endorsement from the media. They heavily promoted the movie Bros. It flopped. They heavily promote the WNBA. It's still a dump. Could the media reverse this trend? Could they heavily promote this book from Cori Bush and turn her into the first woke success? The first week of the book's release, Cori Bush sold 729 copies. 729 copies. Well, KC, she just needed some time to gain momentum. Cori Bush is a fighter. She is resilient. She takes failure and turns it into success. You're right. You're right. I'm sure sales were much better her second week, except they weren't. Week number 2, she sold 288 copies. This fine example of a woke woman barely sold 1,000 books in 14 days. According to the New York Post, she was given a $50,000 advance. This publishing company is getting exactly what they deserve. Who in their right mind would donate $50,000 to a woke welfare recipient? Who would do that? This would be like Interscope Records handing out a record advance to a deaf mute. My sources tell me the publishing company is resorting to Plan B. They printed hundreds of thousands of copies of this book. Plan A, of course, was to sell them. That's obviously not going to happen. But that's okay. Plan B's going into effect. They are handing out free copies to woke birthing persons living in energy-deficient states like California. The books will serve a dual purpose, and you guys know how much the shitfucks love dual purposes. They can use these books as a source for heat by starting a fire. While the fire's burning, they can also cook your typical woke dinner, grilled woke wiener. I am waiting for Cori Bush to claim her book failed because of mythical racism. I am sure her failure is somehow white people's fault. But the real reason your book failed? No one gives a shit about Cori Bush. But let me know what you guys think. The mainstream media heavily promotes Cori Bush, and she almost reaches Bomani Jones' level of failure. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.